Welcome to the game of the week. You can see at the time of playing this game, my ELO was 1393, so if I were to win this game, this would be my game for 1400. So you'll have to see how it plays out to see whether or not I reach that point. I'm playing as the Chinese versus the Ethiopians. I told myself that until I reach 1400, I'm just going to stick with strategies I know and keep playing the Chinese, and once I reach that point, then I'll start playing some new civs. So we're going with Old Faithful, the Chinese, get some great eco, some flexible technology and military. As far as the layout for actually each of our bases goes, you'll notice that both of us have two kind of really chunky nearby wood lines to our TC, and then one thinner one, and my opponent has essentially the same layout with these two thick wood lines, and then this thinner one on the side. For some reason I decided to lumber camp this side, the thinner wood line. I think my thought process was that I could pretty easily wall here, and then wall here to my TC, even around my berries. So that was my thought process, and my opponent decides to go for this thicker wood line, and you can see that he's building up to these walls here, and that'll be significant when it comes to our base layout later in the game. While Dark Age is going on, just for some context, I started playing this game competitively around the start of 2026, and we are coming to the end of July now. So I've been playing for about 7 months. After the first few ranked games that I played, which inevitably I lost quite a few of them, I dropped down to about 750 ELO, and then I started watching a lot of guide videos by Hera and Survivalist and several other people who were able to help me understand some of the basics of the game and get a grasp on how I can improve. And I joined the Rage Forest Discord, actually, and found a lot of people who were extremely willing to help and support me on my ELO climb and give me advice and watch recordings for me, so big shout out to those guys. So since then, I climbed about 100 ELO every month, and here we are at the point where I am playing a game, hopefully, for 1400. So I'm going for my strategy that I played last game of scouts into archers. My economy is flying as usual. That's the Chinese way. Now, I was mentioning base layout. You can see I'm doing what I mentioned, walling to the edge, and then cutting to my TC kind of around my berries to keep those defended. My opponent goes for some pretty intelligent walls here, protects his two wood lines, and just cuts to his TC. So he's very well defended right there. Throughout this game, I was very much appreciating my opponent's base layout. It's just very intelligent walling, and it made me wish that I had done the same. So he's coming over to scout me. I'm at the point where I can add my archery range, and I've got my scouts out. I'm kind of focusing on my eco, so I have yet to collect my scouts together and go in and start attacking. He sees that I have guys out, comes out with a spearman, and thankfully I see in time, and he's going to go ahead and tower his gold. So again, I'm really appreciating his base layout. Two wood lines that are walled, cut to the TC, tower on his gold, so he's got a really substantial base right here. I probably, because of that, could have considered towering this wood line. He's got another one that he can run to immediately, and he's going to go ahead and wall up this side here. So I'm coming out with my scout and archer army. I've already scouted that he's got the range, and he's producing archers, but I can't see that yet, so I'm trying to cause whatever trouble I possibly can. I'll get my guys together and soon go in and look for where I can find damage. His scout's just kind of running around, being annoying, hitting individual archers, so I gotta micro this. It's, he's being very annoying. I'm trying not to lose units to it, and meanwhile get walls up on these two wood lines to completely close my base, and now I've got enough archers to chase away his scout. So back over to my army. I kill that spearman, so it's not a threat to my scouts anymore. And I am running around and seeing that things are pretty well closed off. He makes a hole to get this villager in and tries to wall behind. I actually sneak this scout through. And then I start beating down this house, trying to get in. I don't know where I clicked, but I click right under his TC, so I lose all of my units. So I just thought that was funny. So I hit him with the 11, and he doesn't respond. He comes over, and now he's got archers, so I can see that. I now know what military he's going into. And since I've lost my main force, I just decided that I'm going to continue massing archers in my base and hope that I have the quicker castle time, which, as we can see here, I do. I'm adding my second archery range, getting my eco upgrades. Because I've seen the archers, I decided to go for armor on my own archers, because I do want to invest into crossbow, and since I see that he's on archers, I want to make sure that my archers beat his by having superior upgrades. He has not gone for the armor. I'm going to market wall him out and just stay on this side of the wood line to protect myself. He's coming around with another force of archers, so I bring mine over here, and I'm going to try to shoot him off from the inside. These guys run away back to this wood line now that they're no longer being pressured. I'm getting all of my upgrades. He sees that, so he backs off a bit with these archers, and he's got his bigger mass here. He basically just goes back to his base. He doesn't want to get caught out by the crossbows that I have, and he goes for the archer armor as well. So we're facing pretty even armies, my crossbows versus his, with very similar upgrades. I'm going to scout this wood line. Again, he went for the pretty chunky wood line, so it's very difficult for me to get damage. I can annoy him, but I wasn't able to get a villager kill off of that, and he's got a second wood line over here that he can easily run to. So I now see that he's walled to this side, so I can't get behind the wood line. I sandwich myself in a bit, and then here comes his crossbows. He's got quite a lot more than I do. I think I'm able to get one villager kill here. Thankfully, I see this army coming in time. I'm able to take the hill, do a decent bit of micro, and then just run behind this hill. I've got another mass of archers, my defenses from home. So my goal is I'm going to run around here, lead his army into my reinforcements, and kind of trap them in. So I'm running away. The new archers are coming in. These guys will run back, and I'll kind of catch them out here, do some good micro. I guess some decent micro at least. My opponent gets ballistics, and I've got ballistics in, so again, we're fighting on very even terms. I now have the second archer armor, so my archers are going to win in the archer v archer, and I am able to clear up his entire army, so I'm feeling good. I've already added the second TC on stone. I go ahead and add the third TC. Again, one of my big problems is once I do damage, I need to focus on eco and not try to get crazy more damage. I look at this wood line again, he's evacuated completely, so I go over here, and I can annoy, but again, I haven't found many villager kills. I do get one there, because now I have ballistics, and again, I am facing more archers, and yep, just doing our little micro thing. So he rushes up a siege workshop, he realizes that he's going to have a devoted counter. I'm on 3 TCs, he's still on 1 TC, I've cleared up his entire army once, and we're just kind of dancing in the middle. I'm doing my best to just hold map control as I can. Yeah, my economy is developing very well. We're still on 2 ranges. Yeah, that's the state of things. My first TC was on stone, so now I have enough for a castle. I could have put my first TC on gold, but once I had cleared up his initial army, I realized that I wouldn't need to invest in a lot more army, so let's just put a bunch of castles in his face. And then I see the mangonel, so I'm doing my best to do some micro around it. I dodge it really well, take out the mangonel. We have pretty even numbers of crossbow right now, so I'm doing my best to micro so that this castle can get up, sending my reinforcements forward, picking off his reinforcements, and then he comes in from this angle where he's able to snipe some villagers, so I gotta kind of readjust these guys so they don't get hit. and just patrolling with my archers. Now the castle does go up, and I'll garrison, try to kill his mangonel. He's going to come in and try to snipe these archers, but he is going to be under the castle range, which mangonels do not do very well against castle fire. They'll die pretty quick, and you'll see right here, he comes in range. I see that, and I'm able to take out his mangonel. So now I'm pushing very hard. My stone count is continuing to grow because of this stone I'm harvesting here, and I got these villagers over there that are just kind of standing idle. I sent them over here to make a mining camp, but once they do that, I realize I have enough for another castle. My opponent's added his second TC, so let's just go forward and put a castle on this one wood line that he has, and maybe be able to get his guys off of the valuable resources that he needs. I'm producing more Chukanu out of my castle, so we got all kinds of archer units going on here. The Chukanu are a little better against mangonels, so that was my thinking in going for that. Instead of adding a siege, we'll just have not a counter, but something that's not as countered as crossbows. These guys will be able to hold their own, so the castle goes up here. I take him off this wood line, so he's got to go back here to this wood line. He's very sandwiched in his base, and I go for another castle. I haven't re-scouted this side, so I can't see where the castle is going, but come forward with my archers. He's got his mangonel and his group of archers here, and he's trying to wall me out. Okay, now I see I can't place a castle here, and here comes the mangonel, and I take some losses there, run away, come in with my crossbows so that I can take out this mangonel. Again, we're trying to go for as good of micro as I can. I built this outpost and one block in between and then the castle, so my archers get a little trapped here. That could have been horrible if he shot his mangonel right there. But again, we're dancing around trying to take out the mangonel. We do. We're able to shoot down his archers, and we have a third castle in his face. And he resigns from that. So this was full-on aggression in Castle Age. I think in terms of military control, which is usually not my strong suit, I was very proud of this game. This interaction toward the beginning where I was trying to shoot down his walls and he comes in from the side with his archers. I noticed that in time and didn't lose my whole army. Looping back around, bringing my reinforcements in, able to take out his first wave of crossbows and initially his second wave of crossbows, getting ahead militarily, then getting ahead economically with my town centers. And then I just enjoyed the play of, instead of going up to Imp, just putting a bunch of castles in his face. I think that was kind of the downside of the tight walls that he had. They were really good for Feudal Age and even Castle Age, but they kind of locked him in a position, so I just dropped all those castles in his face. And because of this game, I was able to go above 1400 ELO. So very excited for that. I am very excited to be climbing. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I'm just committing to Chinese and Portuguese for the moment. But now that I've reached 1400, I'm going to try broadening my horizons in terms of civilizations and strategies. So look forward to that in future videos where you can see me playing new civs, new strats, and constantly trying to learn. Any advice or tips that you guys have, I'd love to hear about them down in the comments below, and thank you for watching.